everyone. Welcome back to Uncommon Christmas on Coffee Nick's Movie Picks. This is a seasonal review series where I talk about not your average Christmas movies over some festive and jolly coffees. Now, as you have probably noticed, Christmas is done. It has been over for quite a bit now. New Year's is also over. The holidays are done. Not even Catholics are celebrating Christmas still, and they drag that out. Catholics drag out Christmas for like 2 weeks after, and I kind of respect it because I didn't put a Christmas tree up in my house, spend all that time, all that money on Christmas decorations, just to take all of that down the day after Christmas. You know, I want that to last. I want it to last. I know I'm a hypocrite because Halloween, I'm like, get the decorations out of there November 1st, put up the Christmas decorations. But Christmas is like a whole season to me. It's a state of mind. So I know the holidays are over. They're long gone, but I wasn't finished. I got sick, as you probably heard in the last episode. I was a little sick, and my schedule, it got all out of whack. And I wasn't done. I wanted to make 3 episodes, so 3 episodes I will make. And I had this one movie that I wanted to talk about, or just wanted to rant about. So who knows how long this episode will be. But yes, I'm cured. I'm back to normal. Hooray. It was only like a few days, but I made it. I made it. For those of you who are just tuning in, my name is Nick Delaney, and I am your show host, movie reviewer, coffee connoisseur. And today we are talking about Anna and the Apocalypse, which is a 2017 film directed by John McPhail and starring Ella Hunt as Anna. And we are pairing this film review with a discussion of the Tiramisu Latte from Tous Jours in Woodbridge, Virginia. Something I want to start today talking about, I don't know about you, but I love Christmas. I love it. I love the season's greetings. I love everything about it. The ribbons, the bows, the lights, the music, everything. And as much as I am a proponent of Uncommon Christmas and how I love the little weird things about Christmas, I'm just as much a fan of the normal, regular, degular gingerbread, stockings, choo-choo trains around the Christmas tree, stars on top, all of the normal stuff. I'm a big fan of all of that. I get a little bout of post-Christmas depression, especially after New Year's. I don't know. And like I said, you bring out all of this decorations and you decorate it, you spend all this money, you buy these really nice gifts, you receive all of these really nice gifts maybe, and then all of it's over. And I know that Christmas is a very sad time for people. I've heard that a lot this year, especially. I think because 2025 was so crazy, so much happened. People talk about Christmas a lot as a very sad, contemplative time. Maybe you're thinking about loved ones who you've lost or something like that. And I really have a lot of sympathy for that. And I think everyone experiences sadness at some time around the holidays. And for me, at least right now in this chapter of my life, for me, the sadness comes right after Christmas. And it's kind of like that loss of like, oh, this is gone now. You know, this joy that you feel. And like, I feel like Christmas is something you kind of create for yourself every year. This spirit of like joy and giving things to people, giving the spirit of giving and receiving, if you know what I mean. In all seriousness, it comes and it goes. And I don't know, I feel such an empty feeling after the holidays. And it's like, damn, I have to wait a whole year to experience that again. And I feel like this year especially, I did such a good job in creating that feeling for myself, that feeling of whimsy and merriment and joy and peace around the world. Just kidding. That was just kind of my little escape in my head. I created a little world where everything's peaceful. But what do you do with that? What do you do with the Christmas sadness? That's a good question. I don't have the answer. The thing about this podcast is I don't have the answers to anything. I just get on here and I jibber jabber, as you know. But I think one thing I like is when people channel that into Christmas art, Christmas media. Hard Candy Christmas by Dolly Parton. Was that written by her? No. Carol Hall was written by composer and lyricist Carol Hall for the Broadway musical The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Oh, oh, I did not know that that was a part of The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Interesting. Okay, so she just covered it when she was in the movie, right? That's crazy. And I just got tickets to see that movie in theaters. And it might just be on this show. Who knows? So look at that. It all comes full circle. But like I was saying, wow, getting very off topic already. I really like sad Christmas media. It's a Wonderful Life. Hello. Big fan of that movie. But yeah, and I think you kind of have to find the joy in the little things throughout the year. You have to find the Christmas in the non-Christmas things. Right, right. What am I talking about? I don't know. Is this resonating with you? It's not really even resonating with me. So maybe I'm saying this for like someone out there who's really getting a lot out of this. But yeah, it's sad. It's a sad time, at least for me. This post-holiday slump. And you're going back to work and everything. What now? What now? We're supposed to act like that season of merriment didn't happen? And what's next? President's Day? Huh. Valentine's Day? Hello. Valentine's Day is like scarier than Halloween to me. Valentine's Day is emotional warfare. That's like the opposite of the Christmas season. That's the season of horror and psychological torture. So yeah, what's next? Do you just get excited for Easter or when the weather gets nice and warm and the leaves go back on the trees? I don't know. I don't know. Here's me. I guess this is why this episode was meant to happen so late and outside of Christmas because I want to talk about that. I wanted to talk about that. But either way, this is still a Christmas episode. I hope that you all had a lovely holiday season, that you got to spend time with loved ones, you got nice little gifts, you gave some really nice gifts. And if you're feeling a little slumpy right now, I'm right there with you. And we're going to find the joy in other things in our life because we don't need Christmas. Who needs Christmas? Who needs Christmas? How dare we speak Merry Christmas? How dare we? Now I know what Kamala Harris was talking about. Right. The coffee review today, I just want to come on here and say that the coffee I'm going to be talking about, it's good coffee. I couldn't find anything about this online. The website of the place I'm reviewing, it doesn't even have that much info on it. So we're just going to talk about it. We're just going to talk about it. But I right here with me, metaphorically, I have the Tiramisu Latte from Tous in Woodbridge, Virginia. Tous. And if you're not familiar with Tous, I do believe it is a chain, and it is a French Asian inspired bakery and cafe, which is really cool. I like the fusion of different cuisines there. The location that I went to in Woodbridge, it is lovely. When you think of Woodbridge, you don't really think of any coffee shops, and or any like unique shops, period. This location, it is in a shopping center with a Staples and a Texas Roadhouse and like two different pho restaurants and a Buffalo Wild Wings. And it's across the street from Potomac Mills, which has Costco and a lot of other boring things. So when I found out we were going here, my expectations were very low. But when you walk in, it is really quite magical. It is lovely on the inside. It really feels like a different place you're in. Huge cafe. You walk through and there's all these display cases with all of these different pastries, and you get your own little tray and you pick out exactly which pastries you'd like. And I went at night and there's still like a huge array of pastries sitting out. And then we went and we got coffee. I went with family. We went and we got some coffee, and they had a tiramisu latte, which not sure if this was a seasonal item or not, but I think if it's Christmas vibes, pretty well. And the wait was a bit long, but like I said, we went there at night, so it's okay. I have grace for that. It's okay. But it was so worth the wait because this tiramisu latte was absolutely divine. It was so good. And I can't really find any information about what they put in there, except I saw this Instagram post, which the tiramisu latte is a finalist at the World Coffee Innovation Awards. Well deserved. Well deserved. And their Instagram account says, this indulgent fusion of rich espresso, creamy tiramisu flavors, and a hint of sweetness has captured the hearts of coffee lovers worldwide. It certainly has DC wide, or my address, my location wide. It's captured my heart. It's captured mine. I love the first the first comment says, calorie question mark. Yeah, girl, it has a few calories in there, I'm sure. So what I think this drink is, it is milk. It's like an upside down latte. Milk, espresso with sweet cream layered on top, and then it has a shit ton of cocoa powder, and then some little chocolate crisps up top. And it's kind of weird to say that a latte is tiramisu flavored, because what does that mean for a latte? Because a tiramisu is like espresso flavored. It's like a rich, kind of vanilla thick pudding with like the espresso soaked ladyfinger shortbread things. So how exactly do you I mean, maybe just kind of like that sweet cream flavor with like a bold espresso taste, and then of course the coating of cocoa powder on top. I mean, that's all you need really, and I think that's what they did. But this was just like made to perfection. It was so good. Everything was very much right in this. I got it iced, and it just came out perfectly. This was beyond delicious. This was like finger looking good. Finger looking good. For my friends out there who do not like the stronger coffees or the black coffees I review and kind of are like the sweeter side of coffee, this is exactly for you. But also for my friends that like black coffee and everything, this was still, it just like hit it out of the park. This is like the best coffee I've had in recent history. I was blown away by this. Go to Tous Jours and try their lattes. I don't know if they still have this, but go anyways. I also got their chocolate croissant, which was so good. Maybe the best chocolate croissant I've had. It was a huge croissant, and half of it was like completely dipped in chocolate, and then the other half was like drizzled. Super chocolatey, really good, just very indulgent. I loved this place. This was great. I Great ambiance, very beautiful on the inside. Like I said, small wait, but it was busy and night when I went. So I absolutely give this tiramisu latte the Nick pick. Since it's been a while, something else I want to talk about is what's on my coffee table recently. And for those of you who do not know, this is like a little segment that honors the tradition of coffee table culture, where people would lay out their magazines on coffee tables to show their interests to their guests. So this is something we do on the podcast to just kind of like catch up on some of the things we're watching, we're reading, we're listening to, anything like that. Usually this is for the guest of the episode, but it's been a while, so I wanted to do this myself. I've been reading a lot lately. I've been reading a lot. I just finished the novelization of Pearl. And for those of you who don't know, the X trilogy with Pearl, X, and Maxine, they made all of those into novels. Forget who they're written by. Apologies. I read the first one and it's fine. It's good. If you've seen the movie, you pretty much know what happens. Does not change too much, but there is some sort of bonus content in there. There's a few scenes in there that's like, oh, interesting. Adds a bit of context, some stuff with the projectionist. It explains a bit more between Pearl and Howard, talks about the mother a bit more. Just sort of like if you're like really a fan of Pearl, it gives you sort of that extra insight, which I am a fan, so I really liked seeing that. And it does that without ruining like any interpretation that you might have. Like it doesn't try to explain everything. Like the mystery of the movie is still there. It just sort of like digs deeper into some of the relationships, which I liked, and answers some of the questions that I know a lot of people have with the movie, especially with Howard. Another thing I've been reading, this is what I'm currently reading, is Red Rising, which is a trilogy of books. And this is a sci-fi, fantasy, dystopian type thing. It's very much like Hunger Games meets Game of Thrones. I really like it. It's quite the page turner. I started it a few days ago. I'm already more than 100 pages in. My sister lent me the book because she knows I've been wanting to read it for a while. I'm really not much of a sci-fi person, or at least I haven't been in a very long time, but this one has completely captured my attention. I really like the world building. I can't say I like the main character too much, but I don't think that's necessary. The world building is just really great. The concepts are really cool. Very excited to see where it goes. In terms of TV shows, there have been a few lately. Fiona and Cake recently just came out with season 2, which completely blew me away. Obviously, the first season also did. And I was an Adventure Time, huge Adventure Time fan growing up. And when they came out with Fiona and Cake, the show, that was like even bigger to me. Like that was a bigger deal. Um, and of course, that was everything I wanted. And I was really confused where they would go with it in season 2. But this season had just like so much more emotional nuance. And I really like what they did with the character of Fiona. She's like a lot messier in this season, but she's also a lot more human. And she's just a character that, like, as someone in my early 20s, I can relate to her. And just how she's like kind of always a mess and she doesn't really know what she wants to do, and she feels like everybody's sort of moving on from her and like doing better things than her, and she just means well but kind of can never really show that too well. She's a really good character. They really fleshed this out very well, and also the whole backdrop of what's happening with Finn in this season is really interesting, and I kind of love everything happening in Ooh. So yeah, that's really good. New season of Fallout has also been pretty good. I've been very invested. It's just like some quality TV. Kyle MacLachlan doing really good. Has a bit more of a starring role in this season, and of course, Heated Rivalry. I've watched that once or twice. Yeah, and that's all I'm gonna say about that one. I have been reading the Batman comics. I don't know what to call this because usually with like DC comics or any comics, they name the different iterations differently. Like there's like Rebirth and the New 52 and all that. This line of Batman comics, it's just called Batman. And it just started. Like they just had issue number 1 a few months ago. But I've been reading those and they're really good. They have art by, let's see, George Jimenez. This is the one with art by George Jimenez. Creative team Matt Fraction, blah, blah, blah. It's really good. I am really, really enjoying this comic. And then last but not least, I want to talk about Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, which I've been playing on my Switch 2. And it's really good. I really like it. I don't care what the haters say. I think the graphics are beautiful. The music is great. Really good, actually. The atmosphere is great. I am just so impressed with the detail that was put into this game. When you have like your psychic visor on, you can like scan things. And I just think it's so impressive how much you can scan and like how much there is to look at and like how much of the world you get to know. Like every single little creature you can scan and learn more about. And I'm going through the Vault Forge section right now where they make the motorcycle, the bike. And it goes through like every single process. Like the world building in this is just insane. So I really enjoy it. Of course, I have gripes with it. I do not like the inclusion of the comic relief character, but I don't think it's nearly as bad as people are saying it is. But I think the atmosphere in this game is really good otherwise. Metroid is just kind of like the series always hits, I think. So I'm having a good time. Yeah, that's everything I have to talk about. So let's get to the movie, right? In the town of Little Haven, Scotland, Anna and her friends battle a zombie outbreak as they try returning with their loved ones and families who are trapped in a school. Anna in the Apocalypse is directed by John McPhail and stars Ella Hunt as Anna. It was released on November 30th, 2018. This film, no, it's a movie. This movie, it caught my attention because of how it was described on a podcast that I listened to. This podcast has like some deep cut recommendations, and this was one of them. And they just said that it is a musical slasher comedy Christmas zombie movie. Need I say more? And that got my attention. I was like, okay, obviously this is an uncommon Christmas movie. So I'll have to watch that and see if it's worth including on Uncommon Christmas. And here we are. Is it worth including? No. There is virtually nothing that I like about this movie. Virtually nothing. And it's hard because I don't think many people have seen this movie. I've never heard about this. I mean, the way I found out was from a list of deep cut movies. So surprise, surprise. But it seems to have the people that have watched this movie really like it. And that frustrates me because I don't. We're getting very nuanced here. You see, are you following? A little bit about the background on this movie. It was based on an award-winning short film titled Zombie Musical. That's about all I could find out about it. Usually my research consists of looking at the Wikipedia page for a movie and reading it. I didn't do any other research besides that. I could have maybe looked at some interviews or something, read an article from when it came out. I didn't do that though. I don't care to do that. But yeah, the short film it's based on won awards. And then this movie, the people that have seen it, they love it. They love it. This has a little bit of a cult following. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, I mean, I think that this movie is worth watching just because, I mean, it is a musical slasher comedy Christmas zombie movie. So when else are you going to watch that? But the thing about that is, that's the gimmick here. Let's say that's the gimmick. The gimmick is that it is all of those things. It's not lying when it says it is musical, slasher, comedy, Christmas, or zombie movie. All of those things about it are true. But here's the catch for me. Here's the catch. It does not do any of those things successfully. Name something you do successfully. Quickly. It doesn't do any of those things quite well. Musical, let's start there. There are songs in this. The characters break out into song. And I went into this kind of skeptic. I was like, I think it'll be corny. And it was. But I did go into this hoping I would be surprised. Because I've seen musicals that are gory, that are like horror, technically. Sweeney Todd. I'm pretty sure is like the most famous example, but there's also Carrie the musical, and there's others that I can't think of right now. But there's those two examples. I'm like, okay, those are like horror musicals that kind of play on it well, and the horror like incorporates into the music somehow. Even like Phantom of the Opera, even though that one is like a bit more serious than the others. So I was hoping like the songs would maybe be kind of like about killing zombies or like Christmas or anything relating to like the like the content material here, but they weren't. And in fact, all of the songs here, except for maybe one and then a reprise of that one, all of these songs, thongs, all of these songs, you could put in any other musical and it would still apply. Nothing about these songs is unique to any of the elements of this movie, the characters, the plot points. It's unique to the characters singing those songs. I mean, the main character Anna, she has like an "I Want" song, which in musical theater, that's like the number where the main character lays out all of their ambitions and their dreams and everything, usually towards like the beginning of the musical. The character has that, but it's like, I want to go far away and explore. I want to see something outside of this town. Um, and I just didn't think that was interesting. I think maybe it could have played on itself, and it's like, yes, she wants that, but she's like, I also want blood and I want gore. And it's just kind of like a, poking fun at itself. And she gets to achieve that by killing zombies or something. But there's none of that. And maybe that's the point. Maybe they want like the juxtaposition of like a very fluffy, normal musical number in the midst of like a zombie apocalypse where it's all gory and everything. But I just wish the songs would reference the setting more, because they don't do that at all. And like I said, it really bothered me that these songs, they could have really been from any musical. There was nothing about them tying them to this movie except for one of the songs was about killing zombies. And this one guy was saying, oh, I'm the best at killing zombies. But that song was corny. This is my next point on the movie. It is really, really corny. It is so, it is an, it cannot be, I cannot withstand this amount of corn, honestly. And that's not a nuanced take. That is not a good take to have as a reviewer. I know, just saying something is corny, but this movie, it kind of gives like that cringe culture feeling from like the early 2010s, like the, I can has cheeseburger. Oh, like it's kind of giving like that era of the internet. But the thing is that it was released in 2018. So it just feels like very dead on arrival for me, like very dated instantly. The humor is just maybe, and it's also British humor, so it's a little bit different. So I don't know. But the humor, which, no, that's not true because I really like some British humor. So it's not that. It just really fell flat for me. It really fell flat. And it doesn't help that like none of these performances are that good. So the acting is all a bit stunted. And when they're singing, it just feels very unnatural. Oh my gosh, it's just really bad. And I hate that I'm reviewing this because I don't even know like what to say other than it is bad. And like the villain of the movie is the principal, and he locks all of the loved ones at the school. He locks them in the school, and he's very like, I don't know, weirdly sexually coded, and also like weird like twirly mustache villain with like, oh my gosh, what do I even say about this? It's just like the worst. It takes place around Christmas. Christmas is happening in the background, but that doesn't really mean anything aside from like they go into like a Christmas tree farm at one point, and The Anna like stabs a few zombies with a big candy cane at some point, and then the school has Christmas decorations, and then there's a zombie Santa jump scare at the end. I hate talking about movies I don't like because I'm not passionate about talking. I don't like talking about movies I don't like because I don't like talking about them. That's the thing. But you know what I mean. When I see a movie I do like, I'm like, let's unpack everything about it. Why did I like it? Let's talk about it for hours. But when I see a movie I didn't like, it's like, oh brother. But the thing is, this is a review podcast. I have to talk about things I don't like sometimes. And I will say this is a bad review. I'd rate this review, if I was reviewing the review, I'd rate this review pretty low. Um, but just go watch it for yourself. It's like an 80-minute movie, so you won't waste much time, and you'll get what I mean. I think if we have any similar movie tastes, you'll be like, okay, I get it, yeah. But what else is there to say? There just was like nothing fun. Truly, like I think if this movie were to be one thing, a musical slasher comedy Christmas zombie movie, you'd want it to be fun or at least stupid. But it just ugh. It doesn't commit to the bit in ways that you would hope. Like I would hope it would just be like a little bit more ridiculous, and like I would even want them to go further with the musical part, like if we're going to have a Christmas zombie slasher movie that's also a musical, why not have the music be like rock themed or like weird rapping, like I don't know, British rap. I just make it even more weird, or like make this the slasher element, make that more, make it like super gory, and then that kind of would accentuate like the fluffy super positive musical numbers that this has more. Or if the acting is super bad, then lean into the comedy. Not that comedy acting is bad acting, but you see what I mean. Like make it camp, like make it more camp. But this movie was just middling in every single department, every single one. And it was really stupid, and I didn't like it, and I had a bad time watching it. And I don't understand why this has such a cult following. I do applaud this movie for doing so many different things. It is an uncommon Christmas movie, I will say that, but it is a bad one. So I give this the Nicks. The ending, just like very lightly, maybe I was interested in that she got her dream, and like the zombie apocalypse meant she could finally like get out of her town and like see the world or something. Whatever. I don't care. I don't care. Uncommon Christmas is over. Christmas is ruined. Christmas is ruined. Thank you, Anna and the Apocalypse, for ruining Christmas. I'll see you guys next year. I'll see you next year for Christmas. We'll have more fun. I think I want to review Black Christmas again. There's a third remake. I'm going to review that. There's some other things. Tokyo Godfathers is one that I was thinking about this time around. Eyes Wide Shut is one I want to see. Spencer will eventually be on Uncommon Christmas. And of course, The Holdovers. So many good Uncommon Christmas movies. In addition, don't forget about the Uncommon Christmas companion playlist with some Uncommon Christmas music. I have that on Apple Music and Spotify. You can listen all year round. It's not just for Christmas time. So tune into that. I had a really fun time putting that together, and there's some really unique holiday songs on there. In addition, I don't know when the show will be coming back. Again, I'm going for this eclectic sort of casual vibe on the podcast from now on. So I do what I want. Just kidding. But yeah, who knows when I'll feel like making an episode again. So the best way to keep in touch with me is to follow the account on social media, mainly on Instagram. You can find me at Coffee Nicks Movie Pics on there. And I post every time there's a new episode, and my Canva designs are really, really good, if I do say so myself. Anyways, I think this was Uncommon Christmas came to a screeching halt. It died, I don't know, with a whimper. But I had a great time. This was so fun. I love Uncommon Christmas. My favorite part about the show, honestly. Um, and I'm glad that I came back to make these episodes because I had a fun time with them. And it was fun to just talk about coffee and movies again. And I do have some things planned for the future of the show. So be ready for that. And those could be coming in the very next few weeks. We'll see. We'll see. But lots of fun movies coming up. A fun special guest, maybe. Yeah. And maybe some David Lynch episodes scattered here and there. I'm going to finish Lynchian picks eventually. Don't worry. Don't worry. But yeah, Christmas is ruined. We have to wait a whole year to do it again. And I'll just be sitting here kicking my feet until then, talking about whatever movie, and Nintendo games and Twin Peaks and whatever. Merry Christmas, everybody, and Happy New Year. Bye.